Hey everybody, it's Sam. I am going to be sharing with you today the one part of my project for Design Studio 550, focusing on Adobe Illustrator. So if anybody listened to my crypt video in the beginning of the course, I stated that one of the elements or parts of learning path that I wanted to learn was going to be Scratch code. But after reviewing the different lessons with Scratch code, I decided that that probably wasn't the best course for my learners. I think that they would benefit more from things like infographics, like I am going to be sharing today. So I went ahead and changed over to Adobe Illustrator, which I'm really happy that I did. When doing the different lessons, I was super impressed with how everyone makes their graphics just solely from shapes. Mine are pretty basic to start since I am fairly new to Adobe Illustrator, but I am still pretty proud with how a lot of my infographic turned out. So, for example, right here with these people here, these were all just different shapes that I used in Adobe Illustrator to create those different people. And as I scroll down a little bit more, you're going to see that I have a graph here. Now, I didn't realize that Adobe Illustrator had a graph function or a graph tool when I created this, but I'm still pretty happy with how this turned out. You can see that I tried to use different textures on the graph to try to make it more visually appealing for the person that's looking at it. When I scroll down a little bit more, you'll see that that's when I learned that the graph function was an option. So I use that graph function to make my pie chart here. And then when I scroll down a little bit more, you're going to see that I have a couple more icons that I was able to draw. I'm going to zoom in a little bit for you so that you can see it a little bit better. So you'll see the start a side hustle was actually something that I was able to, part of it at least, was able to trace. So that's a really great feature of Adobe Illustrator if you wanted to trace an image that you like. But the things like, or all the others, I was able to draw by hand using different shapes. And something I would definitely suggest if you're doing Adobe Illustrator for your next pathway is to look up how people do different icons in YouTube. YouTube videos were really, really helpful for things like that. And then once you start getting used to all the tools, for example, the calculator, I was able to just create that myself by hand without having to watch a video. And I was able to do a lot of the shopping cart one too without a video because you just get so used to the different tools that you have there that you end up not needing so much support. One frustrating thing with Adobe Illustrator is that a lot of different parts will move when you're trying to draw something. So you need to make sure that you lock different areas so that you're not moving things all over the place and really trying to get things even. And then I also struggled with this project because I was trying to think of a way to make it most visually appealing with putting enough information, but not too much information, and being able to figure out what kind of graphics to put on this infographic as well. So the infographic I think is very, very time consuming if you're a perfectionist like I am and trying to make everything perfect and even. So I think that, going forward, if this is something that I were to utilize in the future, that I definitely would need to try to work out some time issues that I have and maybe just brush up on some more skills. And the more skills that I have in it and the more that I use it, hopefully it would take me a little bit less time to create an infographic for my students and my learners. So I'm just going to do a quick pan back up so that you can just get another overview of this infographic. And I really appreciate you taking the time to view my video. And I hope that you have a great day. I look forward to your feedback.